Today we are checking out Pantasy's twin lens reflex camera, set 85050. And this is not just a display model. It has a real glass viewing lens, a working viewfinder, a moving focus knob, and even a film roll that actually fits inside the camera. All of that in just 793 pieces. Welcome back to the channel. If you enjoy retro builds, clever mechanisms, and sets that look classy on a shelf, this one is absolutely worth a closer look. And yes, the link and any offers or promotions will be in the description below. Right away, the build gives you a really nice mix of printed parts and metallic-looking silver pieces, which makes the camera feel much more premium than you would expect from a set this size. The brown and black trim gives it that proper vintage camera look, and Pantasy did a great job keeping the shape compact, while still packing in a lot of detail. One of my favorite things here is the lens area. The top lens is the viewing lens, and inside it is a real glass piece. You do want to keep that clean. No fingerprints, no grease, no dramatic smudges from an over-enthusiastic builder. Below that, we get more printed detailing, including the Pantasy logo and the 80mm focus marking. The lower lens is a smoky, transparent piece, so it gives the model a really convincing look without pretending to be something it is not. And then there is the side of the camera, where things get even more fun. The focusing knob has printed numbers on it, and it actually moves in and out smoothly. That small detail makes a big difference, because it gives the whole model a real sense of function. It is one of those little techniques that makes you smile while building it, because it feels just right. The film advance and rewind knobs are also nicely represented, and while they are more decorative than functional, they add to the authenticity of the design. This is exactly the kind of set where even the fake details still feel satisfying, because they help sell the illusion so well. Now, the back of the camera looks simple at first glance, but do not let it fool you. There is more going on here than you would expect. At the top, you get an exposure chart, and when you open the rear panel, the camera reveals its interior. That curved back piece comes off nicely, and the mechanism feels clever without becoming fragile. It is the kind of feature that makes you want to keep opening it and closing it just because it works so neatly. And yes, the film really goes inside. That was probably my favorite surprise in the whole build. Pantasy includes a roll of film that fits into the back of the camera. And it is such a neat little idea. The roll has a slightly angled shape to mimic real film. And the smoky pieces plus the printed details make it look much more convincing than a simple accessory build. Once you load it in, the camera closes up securely, and that is another thing I really appreciated here. This does not feel delicate in a bad way. It feels solid. You can handle it confidently, and it gives the impression of a well-engineered display model, rather than something you need to tiptoe around. Now let's talk about the viewfinder, because this is where the set really earns its place on the shelf. On top, there is a printed Pantasy tile, and the viewfinder cover opens smoothly. Inside, you can actually see the lens setup, which is a really cool touch. The mirror and Fresnel lens system make the whole thing feel surprisingly authentic. I set the minifigure up behind the camera, looked through the viewfinder, and the result was honestly better than I expected. It is one of those moments where the set moves from nice build to okay. That is genuinely clever. And speaking of the minifigure, Pantasy included one very dashing photographer, and I love that. He has the mustache, the suspenders, the open shirt, and his own little reflex camera, which makes the whole display feel complete. It's such a good choice for a retro set like this, because it gives the camera a bit of personality instead of leaving it as a lonely object on a base. Behind him, there is also a roll of film display piece, featuring world-famous landmarks, including Big Ben, the Arc de Triomphe, and the Statue of Liberty. It is a small extra build, but it adds a nice splash of color and makes the whole presentation feel more like a miniature exhibition than just a model. And the instructions were also excellent. Pantasy really knows how to make manuals feel useful. And here, they clearly guide you through the lens pieces, the mirror, and the film mechanism without confusion. The lens protection is a nice touch too. especially since one of the pieces is real glass. That attention to detail is exactly what makes these retro sets stand out. And honestly, that is the best way to describe this camera overall. It is small, but it is not shallow. It has proper visual impact, clever functions, and just enough surprise to keep you entertained all the way through the build. I went into this expecting a good-looking retro display piece. What I got instead was a set that feels smart, sturdy, and full of little moments that make you appreciate the design more and more. For only 793 pieces, Pantasy packed in an impressive amount of character. If you like retro displays, photography, or just sets that feel a bit different from the usual, this one is a very easy recommendation. And that's it for today. If you enjoyed the review, give the video a thumbs up, subscribe for more, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, and happy building.